Welcome back to Sikkim 365 Radio. Our weekly segment with Baylor Director of Athletics, Mack Rhoades, is brought to you by Edward Jones Investments Brokers. Tom Albers, Brad Wilson, Ben Erlinson, and Cam Heathcott. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
We will hear from Baylor Director of Athletics, Mack Rhoades, here momentarily. Sikkim 365 Radio. Craig's off the radar in about 25 minutes or so. Baylor coming off the win against Brigham Young, a huge crowd, great moment, great weekend, a future Big 12 opponent as well, and now 6-1 on the year, joined by Mack Rhoades, Baylor Director of Athletics. There's a lot of things I want to ask you. I'm going to try to put them in order. First of all, how cool was just the weekend itself, the Brigham Young factor, the factor of part of the Big 12 family, and eventually will be just overall the weekend with Brigham Young?
Yeah, I thought it was a great weekend. You know, one, just I think the Baylor family, all of us, were just excited to have homecoming back again and to be able to experience, you know, all of those festivities, and then, you know, to play a really, really good, you know, BYU football team, ranked coming in, and to welcome them into the Big 12. And I want to say thank you to all of the Baylor family, because we have heard from so many of the BYU contingency just how welcome they felt, just the hospitality over the top. They could not say just more just positive, kind things about the way they were received here in Waco and on the Baylor campus. So overall, really a great.
Would you like them to lead a seminar on how to travel to support your team? Because that was impressive.
Yeah, that really was, and you know, you knew that, right? That's part of who they are. And, you know, they have the national following, you know, very, very similar to like a Notre Dame. And we saw that firsthand on Saturday. And they made some noise early on. And I was glad that as the game went on, we were able to keep them quiet. But just a really, really solid performance by our football team.
Yeah, Mack, let's delve into that a little bit. I mean, Dylan Doyle, what an incredible game for that young man with 2 touchdowns on offense, also a sack as one of your starting linebackers there on defense. Abram Smith has been, you know, what a brilliant coaching move that was in the offseason, knowing they didn't have quite the right type of guy to move Abram back over. I mean, sitting at 6-1 right now and firmly in the mix and kind of getting to, you know, catch your breath a little bit. I mean, just how are you feeling at this stage of the season?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's Craig, it's awesome to go into a bye week with a win. You know, I think just from a psyche standpoint, I think it's really good for everyone. Now, you know, can't lull, can't go to sleep. Gotta continue to work hard and do all of the little things that have allowed us and have led to 6-1. But you know, you mentioned those two particular individuals, and I don't know if anybody caught the post game by Dylan, but both special young men, and glad they're playing for us. And you know, again, 6-1, 7 games in. I think what's most exciting is you can almost visually see the team developing before your eyes, before our eyes, and they seem to be getting just a little bit better each and every game. And you know, again, I think what's probably even more exciting is I think, you know, we can get better, and we can be even better, and we haven't played our best football. And what I liked about Saturday, I thought it was a really clean game, zero penalties. You know, we executed and played well on both sides of the ball, Special teams was really solid again. So again, a really complete performance, but still the ability to get better in all areas.
In Matt Rule's last year, when he took you guys to the Sugar Bowl, in the middle of the year, there was a critical win against Iowa State. And I know that Dr. Livingstone and you both extended his contract, and it was because of how huge that win was and what was going on with the program. And obviously it didn't matter because he was gone at the end of the year. You're now seeing Dave Aranda in year 2 put some things up. We're also seeing his name out there. I know you can't talk about contracts and extensions and all that, but I have to ask, are you looking at that and how much interest is coming his way? I said earlier in the week, he seems to be about a Scott Drew, Grant Taft type fit for Baylor as anyone you've ever had.
Yeah, this is, a little bit cliche, but, you want people, you want to hire people, you want people in your organization that others outside your organization value and think highly of and may even, one day try to hire them. And so it certainly speaks to Coach Aranda, and he'll be the first to tell you, it's not just him, it's the staff and it's our young men. And, they've done a terrific job, and want to be cautious. We're 7 games in, and we still have 5 more to play, and we're certainly on the right path and headed in the right direction. And when we were at 0-0 before the season started, had great confidence in Coach Aranda. We were able to visit and talk on Sunday, as we normally do. And, we probably talked right as the noise or the news, I should say, coming out of LSU, became public. And, we always have frank and transparent conversations. I know that, just within that conversation, we talked about, and he talked about what a great fit he believes he is at Baylor and wants to stay at Baylor. He, was really forthright in saying that. And I certainly appreciate that, as a first time head coach, and, all of a sudden your name's being mentioned in some national, articles, just talking through that, how that impacts all the various people around. And we've been through this, it felt like, I guess 2 years in a row at least with Matt, and just making sure that it's handled the right way. And first and foremost, just being genuine about it. And I really appreciated the conversation that we had. And again, he reiterated to me that he feels like that he and certainly his family are a great fit here at Baylor, and they want to be here.
Mack, do you, when you hire a coach, and obviously you're not trying to hire a guy for a 2-3 year hit, you want decade-long hires and plus, do you just have to trust your gut that that's going to work out, or do you get a real sense from people?
Paul, say that again. I'm sorry. I'm not sure I followed it. Say that again.
Like when you hire a football coach, when you hire someone, you're obviously not hiring like I just got to get through the next 2 years. It's not your plan. You want someone who's going to be here hopefully for a decade or more in any position that you hire. Do you have to just trust your gut, or do you get a genuine sense of what they want to do career-wise when you hire them, knowing that athletics is not ever consistent?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and I think it's more art than it is science as you're going through that process. And you're certainly not wanting to hire somebody that you think is just going to be there 2 or 3 years and then move on, because that change is hard. Especially in football, when you think about just the number of people involved, the number of student athletes, the number of staff, families, all of that. And so, I don't know that you go into it you're sitting there, hey, we got to find somebody that's gonna, finish out their career here and be here, 10, 15, 20 years. But you want somebody that sees the vision for the institution and at least, you certainly feel like is going to be there for, 5+ years, and really, grow something that is sustainable and has deep roots. And, I'll say this, our previous, football coach, life happens, things change. And I really believe, when he got here, he felt like, first of all, think about the circumstances he walked into, but, he felt like this was going to be something longer than what it ended up being. And again, with Dave, I know that he feels really, really good about Baylor. His family's happy here, and hopefully he's here for a long time.
Mack, do you like? I mean, I know there's a lot of other stuff going on, but did you feel like this is kind of like nice to have a break from football this weekend?
I'll tell you what's nice. It's and I think you guys know this. I'm as big a college football fan as there is. And it's going to be nice just to watch games and enjoy and not have to worry about the outcome and all of the things that come afterward. And so, yeah, it's a nice, reprieve and we'll certainly have soccer to watch on Thursday and Sunday. But it'll be a nice break and a time to catch your breath a little bit.
Derwin Gray, I saw some of the chatter. People were talking about he was on campus. Dr. Gray, who was a big Brigham Young alum and from San Antonio, went to Judson High School. We know his story, his church in South Carolina. We had him on. Who sets that up? Whose idea was that? And how powerful and motivational and in a lot of ways just fantastic was his time at Baylor? Yeah,
so one, both Pastor Gray and his wife Vicky are wonderful, wonderful people, and we were blessed to have them as a featured speaker for all of our staff. We've had a cultural humility working group. We've had it for 2 or 3, I believe, 3 years. Long before any of the racial injustice. Last year and in all of those conversations, it's something that's really important to us. One of our operating principles is treat everyone with dignity and respect. And, that's a work in progress. And so we're very intentional about conversations. And so, we have Corey Pinkett and Joe Gonzalez who lead our cultural humility working group. The rest of that group works closely with me and the executive team. And so this was something that, bringing in Pastor Gray was something that we had, talked about throughout the summer. And, again, wanting to be intentional. This particular conversation was about unconscious bias. And I thought it was I thought it was unbelievable the way he kind of flipped that, and we need to be about conscious love rather than unconscious bias, and I just thought a really powerful message for all of us, and again, that leads to continued conversation. If all we do is just listen to him and then not talk about it again, then I'm not sure that we've really learned much or have done Pastor Gray or any speaker justice. And so we're gonna continue to be committed to this idea of treat everyone with dignity and respect. And this is just part of the process. And again, just grateful for him because tremendous message. If he was just wonderful, and so was his wife Vicky.
You've got a number 20 ranked football team for the time being, and that could obviously go both directions depending on how they come out of the bye week next Saturday against Texas. But you also have a couple of top 10 preseason basketball teams. I mean, the hoops fever is starting to rise a little bit, Mac. I know football's still very much going on, but your excitement level, I mean, obviously last year was quite a bit of fun with that national title. The men expected to be good again, and now Nikki Collin making her debut as head coach. Where's your excitement level for basketball around the corner?
Yeah, I love it. This is a great time of year. It's hard on staff because as you get into basketball, we're trying to juggle all of these different events. But Big 12 Media Days today for women, and pick preseason favorite, and Alyssa preseason player of the year, and Jordan Lewis preseason newcomer of the year, and Queen preseason all Big 12. And so excited for Nikki and that staff. And, you mentioned, the preseason AP poll came out today, number 7 in the country. And then, tomorrow, Big 12 Media Days for men's basketball, and the AP preseason out today for them, number 8. So to have, both in the top 10, to have football, men's and women's basketball, all ranked nationally top 20 or top 25. I'm not sure, how many out there are able to say that right now. We certainly don't take it for granted. Know that it can go either way, but just excited to see both programs play. Right around the corner. If you think about it, first exhibition game for women's basketball is the 27th, and the men, have a season opener on November 12th, and a lot of new faces, newcomers for both programs, and I'm fired up. I'm excited to see them play, and you think about Coach Drew and the national championship, and to lose. Mark and Maceo and Jared and Davion, and to be able to come back the next year and be ranked in the top 10, man, that's a testament to him and the staff, and what a great job they're doing.
Mac, I got a question, and it's not, and obviously the news about what's happened at Washington State, and you guys tried to educate everybody as much as you could about what you thought was best for everyone involved when it came to COVID, the vaccine, and all of that. Would you ever have asked somebody would you ever told somebody they had to be vaccinated to keep their job?
Yeah, I think, that's such a tricky question. And the reason why I say that, Smoak, is one, we did not, and we would not. But, for that circumstance, in the state of Washington, that governor made the decision that he made that it was, a mandate that you had to be vaccinated. We did not do that here, and would not do that here, and could not do that here. And our vaccination rate for the entire athletic department, this would include staff, student athletes, coaches, everybody's right at about 85%, which is a really, really good rate. Obviously there's those that have decided not to get the vaccine, and we're going to respect their wishes, their desire to not get the vaccine.
Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. It's good news on the conversation with Coach Aranda. You know how many people have been waiting to at least hear a little bit about that. Thanks for your time. We appreciate it. Congratulations on 6-1.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you all. Take
Mack
care.
Rhoades, Baylor's Director of Athletics, on many things, including the weekend of Brigham Young and much more, the start of men's and women's basketball, Women's Media Day today. Tomorrow we'll have a Baylor men's basketball player on the show as well. But I thought his conversation, again, and a lot of people can raise their eyebrows on whatever, and Craig put this up. He said that he and Dave Aranda, had a conversation as the LSU news was becoming public. Instead, Aranda reiterated he's a great fit at Baylor and wants to stay at Baylor. He was very forthright in saying that, and I appreciate that. And then I put up a little bit longer thread on the same quotes along with a couple of other things as well. And you could take that as you want. But I would think that you can you can understand that Mack Rhoades probably wouldn't have brought that up if he didn't feel pretty good about it as well.
I'm not worried about it.
Not either, at all.
I mean, for one thing, I don't know that LSU is going to be interested, and I don't know that USC or whoever else you want to throw in the mix will be interested. I mean, with Matt Rule, like, we knew there was a tension. Like, we knew that teams were interested in him. We don't know that really about Dave Aranda. We know that teams could be interested because they're 6-1 and he's a fresh head coach and all that. But I think he's – and look, I have totally seen every scenario under the sun, every fan base that's claimed, well, yeah, he really loves it here, and I've seen all of that, only to watch guys walk out the door. So I don't say this lightly, but I really do think he is the perfect fit for Baylor. I mean, I really do. I don't think you could have done much better than you did with Dave Aranda. So if he feels that way as well, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever to see him here for the long term.
All right, when we come back, Craig, we'll have